point where he asked Rose Rubio to marry him? You guys got married?
Rose Tito Garcia. I asked the mother in Spanish, yo quiero casar con tu hija. She said, okay, Pablito. She said, okay, Pablito. Okay. So I got the okay from her. In those days, you had to ask the parents, to get married, see? And she said, okay. So I ended up marrying her.
Okay, now we're back live.
How are you on?
You're on live. Paul T. Garcia. So before marrying Mom, did you date a lot, or were you like a hermit and didn't go out much?
No,
I heard you were real quiet, didn't like to go out.
Quite a bit, but I played around too much.
You played around? You played the, what do you call that?
There was a couple of girls I knew real well, and they were kind of hot for me. But I didn't care for them,
Did you used to get some action, or what? Or did you play the field?
But my wife, I couldn't touch her at all. That was another, she says, get married first, then you can touch me. I said, okay. She was strict, and I'm glad she said that.
What about the other girls?
Some of them were easy, some were hard.
You had to work a little bit.
I had one time, I gotta tell you the story. One time I went out with some girl, took out to the show from San Andrew. Her name was Connie Lowengo. So I said, I'm gonna stop and get a cup of coffee. So I stopped at in Hayward, they were called Moguls. So I stopped there, I see this guy, Manuel Monte, they call him Brownie. He's sitting down and having a go with two girls. Hey, Brownie, what are you doing with two girls, for Christ's sakes? Oh, I said, well, I'll take one of them.
Is Sunday, October 24th, 2010. We are back live interviewing. What is your name, sir?
My name is Paul Garcia.
What's your middle name? You got a middle name?
Thomas.
Give me your complete name.
Cutie for short.
When were you born?
I was born January 15, 1923.
Okay, last time we interviewed you, we heard some stories. Now we're up to that you had just gotten married. You moved into your house on Berry Avenue. When did you and your wife decide to have kids?
Well, we didn't have kids after we were married for about 6 months or so. Then we decided, well, I think we would have a kid. So we decided to have a kid. And I wanted a boy, the first one, and it was Tommy. So Tommy was the first boy I had. So
Okay.
we were going along.
When was he born?
June the 8th, I think.
1946.
I forget what date that. 48.
46.
Then we go along, and I told my wife, we got a boy, we got to have a girl now. So she got pregnant, and we got a girl. So
What was her name?
her name was Carol. They wanted Diane, different names. I said, no, too many of them names. I said, I want to call her Carol Ann. So I called her Carol Ann.
When was she born?
She was born, I forgot what day, but I know one thing. We went on a cruise, and she didn't want to go. My wife didn't want to go, rather. I said, no, I don't want to go. She's pregnant, I want to be around when she has a baby. I said, no, you go ahead, go. So we're in the ship, and all of a sudden I get a call, baby girl. So my wife was kind of upset, but I said, forget it. Champagne for everybody. So we all had a lot of champagne, and she was born.
So Carol was born September 16th, 1949.
That's right. Then we went along, and as time went along, I said, well, I'd like to have one more. So we went ahead, had another one, and I said, whatever come. So you came along. So we had 2 boys and a girl now. So I'd like to have another girl, but my wife had a little trouble with down below us, and I said, well, you got a problem, forget it, I want you, I don't want nothing to happen to you. So we quit right there and then. So I went up and I got fixed.
What'd they do to you?
Huh?
What'd they do? What do you mean fixed?
They go to the hospital, I went up there and I shaved myself, I went out the whole camp, I said, I get fixed. You better think about it. I was already thinking about it. Go ahead. So he had no nurse, so he got his daughter. He laid me down, got in there, boom, tie this, and I couldn't walk for a day. But that was it. I got fixed.
Did it hurt?
It hurt.
Did they give you Novocaine or you take it straight?
Just gives Novocaine. And then I remember I was working, I went to work a couple of days, and somebody got stuck in the mud. So I had to go pull them out. I pulled myself, and it was hurting me. I said, holy smoke, what do I do now? So I called the doctor, hey doc, I got something wrong. What you do? I told him, he said, oh, that's all right, that'll go away. So it went away. I pulled something in there. But anyway, I had 3 kids. I wanted another one, but my wife was in a place where she couldn't have no more. I said, forget it, no more kids. 3, I'm happy, what I got, I stay that way.
Where was Tommy born?
Well, Tommy was born in Hayward Hospital.
And Carol?
Hayward Hospital.
And me?
You, Hayward Hospital. And you, let me tell you what happened to you. You was pregnant, my wife was pregnant, and I was doing a brake job.
Great
And I'm doing it home, brake job, trying to get it done, and my wife comes out, honey, I'm due. Wait, hey, see, I finished this job. Come out 3, 4 times. First time I got it done. Okay, let's go. Boom. Put the kids in the car. Put her in the hospital. I said, you kids stay here. I want to take mother up. I took her up. She's going to have a baby. She has a baby. I come down. She had a baby right away, just like that. Boom. That was it. Another boy. Yeah. You was born.
You did a lot of brake jobs and stuff when you were working, doing odd jobs, huh?
A lot of jobs. A lot of jobs. Too many.
What about your wife? Did she ever get mad?
My wife the only argument we ever had, really argument was, working, she come out, she said, Paul, come in the house. It's late, you're working too hard, you're tired, come on in. I said, pretty soon, honey, pretty soon. I kept going. In fact, when my wife was working, I used to get the kids, put them in the car in the back seat. I'd be working in the car.
Did she ever, one time she got mad and threw something, right? What happened?
She got mad downstairs, she threw it. I know what she threw.
Bag of carrots.
Huh?
Bag of carrots.
Bag of carrots right to the window, broke the window, and said, look what you did. Broke the window, you cost me money.
What about, didn't she one time get mad and what'd she do upstairs in the living room? Do you remember?
One time she got mad at me. She went up to start smoking. I said, what are you doing? I'm smoking Pall Mall. You're not smoking. She got mad and she wanted to smoke. She's choking.
When you had kids, did you go out much with your friends?
No. I was pretty close to stay home. I never, once in a while go with Kenny. He got me in trouble.
What happened? What do you mean trouble?
Well, I said, okay, Kenny, I'll go with you. 11, 12 o'clock, I want to come home. Hey, 1 o'clock, come home. My wife said, where you been? 1 o'clock in the morning. Kenny kept me up. You're not going out, Kenny, anymore. And Kenny forget to come home. I got forget.
What happened when you came late home? You came home late one night, right?
One night I came home late. She locked the house up. I had to go to the garage, sleep in the car all night.
Why?
Because she was mad at me.
What she
I supposed to come home early. I didn't come home early. You were sleeping in the garage tonight. Good night. I froze in the garage. She got mad at me. I said, you little tough kid. See, my little wife was tough. They had a temper, damn. Yeah, they had a little tough kid.
What about when your kids were young? What kind of vacations did you take? Did you take them to Hawaii? When your kids were young, did you fly them to Hawaii or Disney World, or where'd you take them for vacation?
We drove to Disneyland. I never forget the time we drove to Disney World. Disneyland. And a cop pulled me over. He said, what's the matter? you're waving. I said, I'm not waving. I'm doing fine. Where are you going? So, oh, okay, he let me go. It was Chelsea, he pulled me over.
Where did you used to take your family on vacation?
Oh, we used to go to Napa Valley, put up a tent. Go to Santa Cruz, put up a tent. Different places, put up a tent. We couldn't afford a motel.
Did Mom like tents?
No, she says, I have one week and that's all I want. She hated it. But I said,
Why?
she liked tents. She wanted to go in a motel. I had no money to go in a motel. I had to go to a tent. So we all went in tents. Tony, Mary, Ernie, Flora, and I. We all put tents up. My brother Manuel, we all put tents up. And that's how we did. And then we had a little stove. I hooked up the butane. Get up, we'd cook.
What kind of tent did you have?
I got a tent for, I think I bought a $20 tent with a pole in the middle. And I fixed it up.
It was an old army tent, wasn't
Beds on
it?
this side, and I put beds on this side. Say, and then the kids, and then I put beds in the middle for the kids.
What about when Tommy started, when Tommy went to college and started dating, what did you think of Leanne when he brought her?
Well, at first he was dating another girl from Hawaii. She was, the father brought her out here, so she was going to marry no Japanese. And she was here for a while. And then pretty soon he started dating another girl. The father had a big furniture store in Santa Cruz. And pretty soon started dating Leanne. And he brought her over. She seemed nice. I said, yes, she's nice. So he met her in college together at Armstrong. He met her there and ended up dating her and ended up marrying her. That was it.
And go ahead. What about their wedding?
Well, they got married. The old man came down. He was on the,
Who's the old man? What do you mean old man? Who?
Mr. Cook.
Oh, Leanne's
Mr.
father.
Cook was on a cruise or something. So he came with the RV, parked in my yard. So we discussed the wedding. And being we had it here, I paid a little more money. He was willing to pay. I paid for the band. I got the all free. I got all the food free. You know, or no, I paid for the food from my aunt's all cook. And he wanted to go to Chico. I said, you have the wedding in Chico, nobody from here is going to go up, it's too far. You got to stay overnight, you got no money to go with. So we had it here. Okay? So the other came down from Chico, they stayed in a motel, and at the wedding at St. Clemens. We had my aunt's cook, and we had live music, and the cook side of the family, and they ate so much in their life. They enjoy the food. They love their food. Yeah.
What about Carol? When did she first bring Bob?
She started dating, and pretty soon she looked at me and said, Dad, I want to get married. I said, what? I said, you're too young. You're not even 19. And I told Bob, I said, Bob, I want to tell you something. I don't believe in a shotgun wedding. You understand? Oh, no. I said, I'm telling you right now. No shotgun wedding. Well, anyway, they wanted to get married. Right after Tommy, within 6 months, I had 2 weddings. So she got married. It was fine. The old man wanted to play big shot.
Who's the old man? Which old man?
Dick Carter.
Dick Carter. Okay.
He wanted champagne for everybody, champagne for this. So I had my brothers.
Well, what did you tell him when he wanted champagne?
I said, do you want to pay half or go? You know, oh, no. According to all, you got to pay for everything.
According to what?
Pay for everything.
Oh.
I said, no. The head table gets champagne, the wedding party, and that's it. The rest, beer and champagne punch. Well, I told my brother, no, if he ever comes to the bar, wants champagne, tell him to come and see me. Well, he did go to the bar. And he said, oh, you got to see my brother. If I got no champagne.
Was that a nice wedding?
I gave him a good wedding. All my 3 kids had good weddings. You remember that?
What about when you first met this one, Lori?
When I first met her, I said, boy, she's a knockout. Yeah. I went to I never forget this. Went to Johnny Rubio's retirement party at the Hall in All Saints.
Uh-huh.
They had a bar and music. So Matt was there, and I said, holy smokes, look at that, I'll have to get next to her. I said, you don't get next to her, that's my kid's girlfriend, you stay away from her. They really want to make a pitch for you. I said, no way.
And what about our wedding?
Huh?
What about our wedding? Did your aunts cook?
What?
When we got married, who cooked the food?
My aunts. My aunts cook everything. I went and I bought the chicken, I bought this, I bought everything. All the salads, I bought everything. Then I got my aunts, I bought a salami, and I bought some wine. I said, here girls, drink and eat. They in the kitchen raising hell, all my aunts were cooking, and they charged me nothing. Yeah. We had a nice wedding.
Yep. I remember we went and got the flowers in Dakota.
Right.
The gladiolas.
Yeah, you're my buddy. I want to screw with him.
How much did that cost you?
Free. Very free. Yeah. Yeah, I went a lot of times to get it off with Tony and Mary. I knew the guy I went to high school with, he was the boss. He said, you want some good so-and-so place. I got to be careful. The cops were always running around and I figured they'd arrest me. But I had permission. Okay.
What about your kids? Did they ever get in any trouble? Your kids?
Kids?
Yeah.
No, they did pretty well. I never had trouble. Tommy, I think they pulled him over one time, took him to Santa Rita's for speeding. He was coming home, I think, or something, and they pulled him over. He called me over to Santa Rita, just overnight. And then he was going over in the hotel. He called me up. He said, my car won't start. They sold his battery. So I put a battery, got it going.
So did Tommy spend the night in jail?
He had Santa Rita.
Who went and got him?
I did.
What about Carol? She get in any trouble?
No, Carol got in trouble one time with another girl. There was down by that food store, there was what you call riot or payless. And I knew the guy was kind of, how do you take to live off of me? And she got nailed with that girl shoplifting. So I knew the guys, let her go. Yeah.
What about your youngest son? Did he get in any trouble?
No, that young boy was pretty good. I had no trouble with that young boy.
What about the overalls?
Pretty good.
Hey, what about the time, tell everybody the story about when your son got a birthday gift, your youngest son got a birthday gift and wore the clothes but didn't like it and went and hid behind the fence. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Well, my wife in those days, she didn't buy very much, so she bought you big overalls, but you didn't like them. And she says, you're going to put them on, that's it. Put them on and like them. So you put them on. So she was hanging close, she hears noise back there. He didn't go to school. She had on these pants, I didn't go to school. So he said he didn't go to school.
And the next day, what did she make me wear?
I think she...
The same thing.
Pair of goggles again. She used to go walk with him to the tracks, and they'd be waving, and they go to school, wave. Yeah.
What about your grandkids? When did Tommy tell you, David, they were going to have a kid? Okay, we're back live. We left off at the grandkids. How many grandkids do you have?
3 girls, 3 boys.
Who are they?
And
Give me their names.
first was the boy was David, Kevin, and Bobby.
Right.
And then there was Nicole, Amy, and Sarah.
That's right.
And when Amy was born, I said, look at this beautiful girl, the most beautiful little Spaniard I've ever seen.
Do you remember? I walked out and told you it's a girl.
She was a knockout. Yes. She never gave me no trouble, my Amy. Never gave me no trouble.
Not yet.
No, she won't. She got a good husband. That's number 1.
Yeah, what about, so David and Kevin aren't married.
David and Kevin, I don't know if they're going to get married. David's got a girlfriend, I guess. And then And Kevin, I don't know if he's a girl once in a while. I don't think Kevin knows how to act in front of a girl.
Well, and then Bobby got married to Leah.
And Bobby got married. Yeah, I remember when I first met Leah, you was with us in Alamo, New Year's party. And I met her, and Bobby came out and said, I want you to be my girlfriend. I met her. I said, Bobby, hey, if you leave her, you got rocks in your hand. She's a nice, wonderful girl. Don't let her go. Because the other one was too wild. As you marry the other one, you would have hot dogs and hamburgers and a bar every night. You would have a good marriage. So he ended up marrying this one here, and he said, look, it turned out good.
Yeah.
Got two nice boys. Yeah.
What about when Nicole wanted to marry Mike?
Well, when he married Mike, I wasn't happy about it. And I don't think Carol and Bob was too happy because his Mary had 2 kids. And you know, in those days, you don't want to marry somebody with kids. And he was paying alimony and everything. But I remember her saying one time when he was pregnant or somebody was pregnant, they had it up at the Mexican restaurant up in Danville. Had and she told me, well, I know a guy named Mike. I really like him. Well, I never met the guy, and it was him. So see, he had no money. He moved in with her. He had no money for a car. The car had to pay with it. He had nothing. I mean, the only thing that guy had was a TV and his clothes on his back. So he ended up marrying Nicole, which is okay, but he had to pay alimony. It was struggling.
Yeah.
Struggling, paying alimony. So that's what happens when you marry somebody with kids.
What about when Amy wanted to marry Ryan?
I wasn't against that. I just said, make sure Ryan, I said, Ryan, you treat her good or else you hear from me. I guess Ryan remember that. You treat her good or else you hear from me. Remember that, Ryan?
I remember that.
Right.
What about in Sarah, the last one, got married to Eric?
Well, that was all right. You know, I didn't say nothing about that. They got together, and I just told Eric, treat my little granddaughter good. That's all I expect. Treat her good. If you're married to her, be good to her. So they get along. I got both of them get along good. That's number one.
What are you most proud of as being a parent? What makes you the happiest being a parent?
What makes me happy?
Being a parent, having 3 kids,
I'm
and
happy when, like, my granddaughter married Ryan, my granddaughter married Eric. They both were happy. They had good husbands. Makes me happy that the family's going to be good, and when they have kids, they're going to be good. That's number one. Never got in trouble. Never went to jail. Smoked pot, dope. They always behaved good. Always had good jobs. They treat their wives good. That's number one. That's what I want. And they did it. Yeah. Yeah.
as a parent, what's the hardest job being a parent? What's your toughest job being a parent?
The job is controlling your kids not to get in trouble. That's number one. You can't let them, you got to be close to your parents. You can't just let them loose. You take off for a weekend and let them alone, they get in trouble. Kenny Clark did that, take my fidelity. I don't believe in that. I wouldn't. I'd take my kids with me if I could. I would not want to leave them alone. They either stay with my mother-in-law or my wife, my mother. I wouldn't ever leave them alone. Go out and want dances, sure. They were my mother, or they were well taken care of. I want them home alone. I never do that. Never did. They get in trouble, a lot of deep trouble. The lawyers said they used to go, and you go over to the house, they're not jumping in the windows, having drunk parties and everything else. I don't go for that crap. No, my kids all behave pretty well. They marry well. So my wife, I always say to myself, my wife and I did two good jobs taking care of the kids, and I'm happy for that. I'm sorry she's not around, but she was a good wife.
And a good mom. And a good mom.
Yes. And her birthday's coming up on the 29th.
Yeah.
And
She'll be 90.
90 years old, better than that.
Hey, when you were working and your kids were in Little League, you helped coach them, right?
I was.
Did you help coach Little League and manage with them?
Oh, yeah, I went, when Tommy was small, minors, I coached him. He was up there. I coached, when this guy, the same thing. Had him, Greg Yoshi, the other kids. And from the minors, went up to majors, as seniors. And after this guy here, I could put him pitching, catching, second base. No matter what I put him, he'd pay good for me.
Hey, what about the story when I was playing in the minor leagues? I just was like 8 years old and Tommy was umpiring. What happened?
We're by, Nissan,
The Highland School.
Ball field there. So we had a practice game against another team, I forgot what it was. And Tommy was umpiring. So the big Okie kid, which is, I guess, the grandkid or something was in the other team. He kept heckling. I said, look, layoffs against don't have practice game. Did it. Pretty soon, you keep right between the legs. I got a bang. I cracked him with both his glasses. His nose was bleeding. I'm going to sue you. Sue